You see what I'm saying? Because it's a mystery. And any dual fulfillment is considered a mystery that has to be revealed. For example, a prophecy of and the virgin will give birth to and he will call his name Emanuel, right? That's Isaiah, I believe, chapter 7 or 8. And yeah, that's exactly what happened immediately. A virgin gave birth to I forgot the guy's name, Belshazzar, whatever his name is, in Isaiah. It was fulfilled immediately, but it was a dual fulfillment in the sense that it was ultimately fulfilled in the Messiah, the Christ, that was used for him.
Wait, there was another dude born of a virgin, and his name was Emanuel.
Yeah, Isaiah. This is what you call a dual fulfillment. The idea was that it was immediately fulfilled in their context
in the Bible.
Wait, did you just say that Isaiah was born of a virgin?
No,
it's in Isaiah. He's saying it's in Isaiah.
No, so let me pull it up for you.
I was like, wait a second, dude.
I got it. I believe it's.
This is another one of we're in the Millennium Kingdom moments where we're both like, wait, what? Or what? Dennis, what did he say? Oh, that they were already raptured and everything, right?
What
was it?
I know. I was like, wait, what?
Hold on.
You believe that?
And then he shows us, and we're like, I mean, maybe not.
So right here, Isaiah chapter 7. If you want to pull up Isaiah chapter 7 in your own books, but I'll just read it to you. This is the quote from the New Testament.
All right, what do we got? Is this
so
7?
Yeah, so you go to verse 10, and here's just the context.
Verse
right?
10.
The Lord
spoke
to Ahaz. Ask for a confirming sign from the Lord your God. You can even ask for something miraculous. But Ahaz responded, I don't want to ask. I don't want to put the Lord to a test. So Isaiah replied, pay attention, family of David. Do you consider it too insignificant to try the patience of men? Is that why you are also trying the patience of my God? For this reason, the Lord himself will give you a confirming sign. Look, this young woman is about to conceive and will give birth to a son. You young woman will name him Emanuel. That's the prophecy right there, right? Before this child knows how to do good and evil in the land, this and that, da, da, da. At that time, the Lord will whistle, da, da, da. Okay, cool. So when you see all that, he says, hey, I'm going to give you a sign. And this young woman, because that's what a virgin means, this young woman will give birth to a son, and he will call his name Emanuel, and that's the sign. In the very next chapter was fulfilled from Mahar Shalal Hashbaz. Like that's
How
the
do you
name.
know that the chick was a virgin?
A virgin, because she's young.
No, and it's the same word in the Greek, and that's why it's quoted in the New Testament that this was actually an ultimate prophecy being fulfilled in the Messiah, right? So, the idea.
So this chick that gave birth was not a virgin, or was a virgin?
Was a young woman. Again, at the language would be a virgin in the sense of young woman. That's the word. Now, the way it's used in the New Testament, it's using that word referring back to Christ being born of a virgin, even more so as opposed to this prophecy. Again, but the whole point
but this chick was was already pregnant, right? He's like, hey, this chick's about to give birth. You're going to name it Emanuel.
Yeah. So, and that's the idea. So
she was already pregnant.
So the idea was this would be a direct fulfillment immediately. And it was the son that she gave birth to, but it was a dual fulfillment, a different type of fulfillment that was only brought out when the Messiah came. So the immediate fulfillment of this prophecy, right? This was the immediate fulfillment of this prophecy that this woman will give birth and call his name Emanuel. He'll be here. He'll do this. He'll do this. It was immediately fulfilled. Yet the mystery was that it was ultimately pointing to the Christ, but no one knew that until the Christ came and it was made clear that it was ultimately referring to him. That's the idea of mysteries and dual fulfillments.
Okay.
You don't know it's a dual fulfillment because it's a mystery, right? So if you're saying, well, Matthew 24, could it be a dual fulfillment? Yeah, but that's a mystery.
Dennis, just real quick, when we start talking, you could pull the screen share off.
Oh, yeah. Are you guys done with the text for that?
Yeah. That's just an example. So the idea is like, that's all dual fulfillments mean. It's like it was immediately fulfilled and then mysteriously revealed again, but that's because the New Testament authors said, oh, remember that prophecy that was fulfilled then? It was ultimately a shadow of this bigger fulfillment.
Yeah, but you see
Okay.
that quite often. You see like a foreshadowing that is utterly fulfilled like later on. You see that a lot actually.
But it's
And a
typically
lot of it was
referencing the Christ.
messianic. Yeah, you're right. A lot
Right.
of it was messianic. Dennis,
So
what were you
I
gonna say?
don't go ahead.
Yeah, but so in that when he was talking to Ahaz,
Yeah.
did that really that was an immediate fulfillment? But are you saying that that woman was a virgin, or are you just saying she was a young pregnant woman and he just used her as an example?
He's saying it was the same word used of
Is
the
the
virgin
word
in
a
the New
young
Testament.
woman? Yeah, exactly. It's the same word in the New Testament could refer to young woman slash virgin, depending on how you take it in context. And although we most likely agree that that person in the Old
Wait, wait,
Testament
wait,
wasn't
wait,
a
wait,
virgin
wait,
who
wait,
gave
wait.
birth,
Yeah.
Wait, wait, wait,
Okay.
wait, wait,
Okay.
wait. Back up to the word in context and what you just said, because that if you got to take it in context in both ways, whether in Isaiah or in Matthew and Luke and all these, where they say virgin clearly, right? I'm
Mhm.
assuming, and then we have young woman here, but you're saying it's the same word.
Yeah. So again, when in the context when you say like a young woman, it typically means virgin who's not yet, has yet to know someone intimately,
Then why don't
right?
they apply that to the scriptures in Matthew and Luke?
Well, they do, and that's the idea. This young woman here in Isaiah knew someone eventually, and that's how they got pregnant and had a kid. You see what I'm saying?
So she
But
wasn't pregnant when this prophecy was given to her?
no, I think that was the sign that hey, this young woman is gonna be pregnant, and gonna have a
Oh.
kid. Whether it's not gonna be virgin like we're thinking virgin. The idea is the young woman. But again, when the New Testament authors pick up on this idea, it's like, hey, what happened then? That prophecy about that young woman was gonna have a son, and it's gonna be Emmanuel, which means God with us, and these
It,
are the signs.
mhm.
That's a greater picture. It's pointing to a greater picture of this woman is a virgin, but she's not going to be known by anyone. And the son will come out of her, not because she knew someone, but because God did a
Yeah.
supernatural work. It was a mysterious prophecy that you didn't understand it in its immediate context, only to be revealed by the Messiah later on.
I mean, I see it again. I see it a foreshadowing. I don't see them actually in the same vein at all because in verse 24 it says, "Look, this young woman is about to conceive." About to conceive is not 9 months later. She didn't just get pregnant right here when Isaiah said these words. She's about to conceive and will give birth to a son. You, young woman, will name him Emmanuel. He will eat sour milk. Da 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 da. Right. So this chick was, in my opinion, it looked like she was already pregnant and was about to give birth. And the foreshadowing of the Messiah was simply that he told her to name him Emmanuel. That's it. Why are
Who
you
Let me
who
get
laughing?
was
this.
this child? Who was this child
Why are you
that
laughing?
came out of
Let
this
me just
woman?
let me just answer Ben really quick because I think it's hilarious. So let me get this straight. Because of the word is about, you automatically place it in as therefore they must have been pregnant because it doesn't give a time period like afterwards. Yet in Revelation, when it says soon, you give it a 2,000 year gap and say you're okay with that interpretation.
No. Do fulfillment. Well,
Anyways,
okay,
He
okay.
kind of got you there. He
No,
kind of
not
got you
not
there.
at all, because one is a prophetic book, right?
both of
Uh
them are
Isaiah
I-
is
prophetic.
also historic, though. Isaiah is
Well,
describing a
this is a
historic
prophecy.
event.
So this is talking about something that's going to happen in the future. So this was a prophetic message.
It's fulfilled in the future prophetically, but this is also a historic event. This chick gave birth and named it Emmanuel. That's not a prophecy. It is also fulfilled as
No, 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 no. You're not reading it correctly. This is the
oh,
sign he's going to give them. So if you read it again, it says, pay attention, verse 13. Do you consider it too insignificant to try the patience of men? Is that why you are also trying the patience of God? For this reason, the sovereign master himself will give you a confirming sign. This is what it is. Look, this young woman is about to conceive and will give birth to a son. That's the sign. This woman, right now, this young one is virgin.
oh,
She's going to end up,
I think the sign is that he
she's
knew
going to
what
get
the
pregnant.
no. I think the sign is that he knew what the gender was because they didn't have ultrasounds back then. So when the chick popped out a baby within an hour, or who knows how soon she
Right.
is to give birth, right? Because she's about to give birth. And it was a son. She was like, oh my God, I need to name it Emanuel. He knew it was a son. I think the sign there is that he knew that it was going to be a boy, not that she miraculously gets pregnant.
Yeah, I'm not saying she miraculously got pregnant. I'm saying like, hey, this young woman right here, the sign is that she will conceive. She will eventually give birth.
Do you see my
No,
perspective
I
on
get,
this stuff?
I get you, but in the end, it's still a
Because
prophecy.
we're reading the same words, and we're coming to two completely different understandings
Right,
of
because
those
it depends.
words.
I'm not
I
sure
Go ahead.
why, unless we're trying to kind of like fit a narrative here. And my point is,
No,
it's
not at
it's a
all. I
the
don't
only
have a
point.
narrative. I don't have a narrative that
My
I'm
only
trying to.
point is that it's a prophecy. This is a prophecy. That's all it is, right? And it's gonna happen, whatever it's in the near future, in a week or 2 weeks. God is saying, I'm giving you a sign, and here's my prophecy. This is the prophecy. It's a sign that's going to happen, and then it was fulfilled again in the Christ in the future. That's all.
It was actually like utterly fulfilled because an actual virgin gave birth, right?
Right. So that's the idea of dual fulfillment.
Whereas here, this chick's sounds like she's already pregnant and she's about to pop.
Yeah, whether she was pregnant or not is the point is that was a prophecy that immediately happened. And all I'm saying is the dual fulfillment aspect is a mystery that can only be understood or revealed when it happens again.
Totally.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But the point is you don't
but at
know
the
it's a
same
dual
time,
fulfillment at the time. You
at
don't
the
know it's a dual
same
fulfillment.
time, you're right. You're totally right. I agree with you on that. That's why even when one of our first weeks, I was even saying most prophecies you don't know until they're fulfilled. Like that's just the way these things work, right? But at the same time, with dual fulfillments that are messianic, maybe even with Revelation, again, this is what happened here, which in my opinion was Isaiah knew that it was going to be a boy. That's the prophecy, or that's the testing of God and how he proved that God's faithful or whatnot. That's a minuscule foreshadowing or fulfillment of the big picture of what the Messiah did. He was born of a virgin. He did fulfill all these other things that were told about him, right? Which is the big fulfillment of the prophecy. Him not guessing, but him knowing the gender here was still a fulfillment of this, but just on a minute level compared to what utterly happened, right? And that's kind of how I see a dual fulfillment in Revelation.